Welcome back, you beauties. Thank you so much for joining us. I think you can see how excited I am about broaching this next topic because it plays a major part in my job, in everyday interactions. We have a truly fascinating guest with us today, Dr. Lizelle Grobler, a globally recognized expert in forensic interrogations, facial profiling, and mind mastery. Now you're listening. She is a forensic psychophysiologist, profiler and mentalist, okay, and we'll get definitions after this, who has dedicated her entire career to helping individuals and businesses decode human behavior where it matters most, to detect deception and gain a competitive edge. From law enforcement to corporate boardrooms, her insights have helped countless professionals make informed, strategic decisions. So let's find out a little bit more. I love it. With a career like yours that is so hyper-specialized, it is very difficult to give a preamble or an intro. But how would you, and then some, but how would you describe what you do? Can you put it in layman's terms?
I catch criminals for a living.
Boom.
I think that's the that's the easiest way to.
I absolutely love the idea, because I think clearly there are techniques that cross over into other spaces.
Yes.
So what led you to this path? Were you always just picking up on dodgy people and reading those signals? How did you find yourself here?
Always interested in people. So I studied forensic psychology. Then I went into just the normal career world, and just intrigued by why people do what they do. And then I started studying, and I just never stopped, I think. So love it. So everything about human behavior, it just intrigued me.
And I'm a people watcher as well.
Yeah.
I can just sit and watch strangers go about their days. But then, of course, when you're having engagements with people, it takes on a very different significance, certainly within law and order. So let's start with that, the harder edge of what you do. How would you be called into action, and how does your role play out in the criminal space?
Okay, so we specifically brought in to take out the informant, because in every situation, especially if you look at corporate crime, armed robberies, things like that, anti-poaching, rhino poaching, there's always an inside man. They need help. So that's my job, is to take out the inside man, to see who it is. So by testing, polygraph testing, interrogation, whatever it takes.
And is there always an inside man?
90% of the time,
sure.
I would say. It's very difficult to do these types of things with no information.
For sure, and it's those grey areas, and I think that's a focus area in South Africa.
Yes.
Do you spot liars everywhere now? Is this something that you can turn off?
No, I remember when we did our training, he said, remember, when that switch is on, it's on. So no, but I don't ever say to you in a social environment, I just leave it. So I don't. Also in an interrogation, if I see you lying to me, I'm not gonna call you on it, because then you're worried. So
then
I'm
your
gonna leave you.
behavior's gonna change.
Yeah, because the more I leave you, the more you're gonna say, the more rope you give him to hang himself. So no, we speak very little actually, and we listen a lot.
Oh, and as someone who speaks a lot, I can understand that dynamic exactly.
Yeah.
So what are we looking for? Let's talk about identifying those key behavioral traits when someone is lying to us.
First, most important thing, you have to have a baseline.
Okay.
So I have to speak to you just about normal things, because I need to see your behavior. Let's say I talk with my hands a lot. So I do talk with my hands a lot. So the moment my body goes into fight or flight, I will maybe stop talking with them.
That'll be limited. Okay.
Anything that's off from your baseline. Second thing is cluster. I'm not going to say if you touch your nose, you're lying. It doesn't work. It's not that easy. You have to look at 2, 3, 4 things that you are doing before I can say, okay, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing this. There's a pattern, but you look for many things. You just, my shoulder is twitching and now I'm lying. It's not that easy. So you look at a lot of things. So there's specifics that we look for.
Looking up to the left, looking down to the right. There's so many urban legends about that.
No, it's not. Actually, it's not an urban legend. That's NLP, so neuro-linguistic programming. So all that is let's say you, I think that you were not a witness at a you were paid to be a witness, but you didn't see the accident or whatever. So all that tells me is where you are accessing your information. Are you getting it from imagination or from memory?
Which hemisphere?
So I can see depending on which side but it depends if you're right-handed or left-handed. And then you get ambidextrous people. I've had once in my life, but I did catch it.
My wife's ambidextrous now. I'm nervous, man. I'm nervous. I love that. Do your friends ever let you play poker with them? No.
Well, we played about 2 weeks ago, and my husband was not impressed with me. He said, I don't know the game, but I read the people, so I always win.
That's the game, baby. That's the game. I love that.
I'll ask, like, who's winning? Is this good?
Which makes it 100 times more irritating, I can guarantee that.
Yeah.
I mean, we can joke about it now because that's kind of human nature, but this is high stakes. When you've got to step in at high-level corporates, any criminal situation, the impact of your work, have any cases stood out or anything that's really left its mark with you?
Sure, no, there's been too many. The only thing I can say is what we found in our careers is that I would say 60 to 70% of the time it's the person that you trust most.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately. And I've had so many, two that it stands out, that we've been chased off a property because the owner does not believe me. And both those times that person was caught red-handed. But they get angry with us because they don't believe us.
I suppose that's the only control they can have in a moment like that is just to react.
We just tell you as it is. I don't have a connection with that person. You do. So I see a lot that you're not going to see.
I wish people could see into your eyes as you talk to me, because there is a level of intent and focus here, which I would imagine is very, very intimidating. How do we become you? Where do we start?
Sure.
Okay, so we need a baseline. I get the technique, but in our day-to-day, what should we try to foster within ourselves?
Well, I do teach people. So I teach basic body language. So what to look for. Eye flutter. Normal, let's say for instance, blink rate. 16 blink rates per minute, that's normal. So anytime it's going over that, there's so many things you can look for. So I can teach you the basics. And then facial profiling, amazing. I teach you to profile the personality. That can be taught in a very... So we do corporate training where we teach that. And then mind mastery, it's all one package. It's a big package.
It's different sides of the same coin, I suppose, Your
mind is so powerful. So for you to, for instance, be able to fight with your mind and not with your body. We teach women self-defense as well. But your mind, oh my word, you do a lot with that.
I know exactly what you mean, because watching the progression within martial arts structures of how often fighting or violence isn't needed once a martial artist has achieved a certain level of strength within their mind. I get that. The hilarious thing is watching everyone in the studio just suddenly adjust where they're looking, how they're moving, their tics, their shoulders. Yep, that's the bottom line. You can pick up these signals and you can teach yourself to read them on this level, maybe not quite on this level, but we're going to continue with an incredible discovery and deep dive into what those signals are. Someone might be lying or duplicitous. You can read them like a book.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. We are taking a mind-bending trip into the mind. Time to see mind mastering in action. And Dr. Lizelle Grobler is going to demonstrate in some parts some of her techniques on, hopefully me, from decoding micro expressions to influencing thoughts and behaviors. We, I think, have now found how powerful the mind actually is and how powerful these skills of mastery can be. So, Dr. Grobler, I know it's quite difficult in this kind of setting, but is there a way that we can kind of demonstrate just how powerful the mind can be? A little taste of what you do.
Okay, can we do two things?
Okay.
Can you touch your toes?
Can I touch my toes?
Yeah,
Yes, I
standing.
can. I can do that.
Oh no, who cannot?
Who here can't touch their toes? Can anyone not touch their toes? Bianca is going to be the person. Bianca will be joining us. I'm going to ask if they can put a microphone on Bianca very quickly. I like the way she just jumped at that. Normally when people ask, can anyone do anything physical here, people hide because they know what's going to happen. Okay, cool. So give us a bit of a preamble here. What are you going to be doing?
So what we're going to do is we're going to show you that how you can, your mind can override your physical limits. So if I cannot touch my toes, I'm going to speak her through it, and see how.
Oh,
she can go
I
further.
love that. I absolutely love that. She's quite active. She
And
runs
maybe
a lot.
if she can help you, because I need a male and a female for the second one.
Okay. I'm ready. I'm ready to do this. If I'm going to improve myself in any way, shape, or form, I'm going to absolutely do that. Is this the case for everything? Because it feels like quite a simplistic solution that the mind is just stronger than the body, or is there a threshold?
Absolutely. No. People don't realize how powerful visualization is. You can do anything. You can literally make yourself 4 times stronger immediately, or 4 times heavier.
Wow.
So in our training, we don't have the time today, but we will, if I had a minute with her, I could explain to her how to make herself 4 times heavier that you cannot lift her, where you just could. So your mind is so powerful. There's so many things.
Well, let's
you
see
can
just
do.
how powerful it is. Now, Bianca is quite a rigid person, okay? And I mean that physically, not emotionally. Thank you so much, Dr. Krobler. This is one of our absolute favorites, B.
Hello.
So you were quite brave there, saying you can't touch your toes.
I was just interacting. I didn't realize this was going to be.
Exactly. Have you not learned? Have you not learned not to throw yourself under the
No.
bus? Okay. So go
Okay.
for it. Take us through.
We're gonna stand up.
Okay.
So
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
join
ask
you standing then.
Okay, but join her because
Okay.
you're also gonna be going
Thank
further.
you.
So I want you guys to go down and make a mark of what your physical limit is. This is how
Okay.
far you can go. So go down, make your mark so you know where.
Okay, just-
Oh, look at this
just.
one now. Oh, really?
I do have short
okay.
legs, though.
Okay, you can come up.
Thank you.
Okay, so I want you to close your eyes, take a
Okay.
deep breath in, deep breath out, and visualize how you put your hands flat on the floor, flat on the floor, flat. You can go further, further, further. Muscles can relax more, more, and more. Hands flat on the floor. Just see the picture in your mind. I want you to open your eyes, deep breath in, deep breath out. Take your hands like this, put it between your legs and push. Press your. Okay, come up. And now do it again. Say where you're going now.
Oh, down to the floor.
Yeah,
We're
see
done.
if you can go further.
Come on. Oh, there we go.
You got a touch.
Wow.
Okay, so just that little
Don't have my
extra.
legs extra.
Okay. So now I hope you're not too stressed, that you don't have a lot
I'm
of
just
adrenaline.
very tight.
I want you to hold your hands like that, just you.
Okay.
And I want you to test her strength. So stand here
I kind of know her
and
strength, so I'm a
see
bit
if you
nervous.
can pull her hands apart.
Okay.
You should be able to just
Gee
feel
whiz.
the.
She is very strong, eh?
She's strong because she's stressed. Okay, but I see you can. Okay, so I'm going to
That's her
quickly
stress
just
laughter.
whisper in it. Yes.
Sure.
I want you to visualize how your whole
I want to know what
body
she's saying
turns
right now.
to steel
Can you turn the
and
microphone? Where's
press your tongue in your palate.
I know, but I can't
Close your
hear.
eyes, see the picture, press your
Love
tongue
this when the
into your
viewers get to
palate,
hear
open
something
your
that I
lips and
don't.
plant
Eh?
yourself.
Sneaky.
Okay.
Okay.
So test her strength first without centering, and then we're going to test it with centering. So first without.
Okay.
Please.
Tell me if I'm going to hurt your arms. There we go. Okay.
Just hold it.
Nice
Okay.
and tight.
Okay. So I want you to center quickly. Just
Right.
feel the difference.
Sure. Come on. Riley, can I get a hand here, boy? Yo. I'm actually going to hurt my hands or hurt your arms if I have to push any harder. That feel.
Sounds good.
I can see in your
so
eyes.
much.
I absolutely love that. Well, seeing as Bianca's here, she can take the advice on board. Why do this for ourselves? Why train our brain?
Sure. Firstly, if you train your brain, you activate your midbrain again, which gets deactivated as a child of 7. So there, your intuition becomes stronger. If you understand how this works, you will start using your intuition like you thought was not possible. In a situation, let's say she was hijacked and she was tied. Okay. So after a while, the adrenaline goes down. She's been tied up for 3 hours. The adrenaline has gone down. Now she wants to activate it. How do you activate on demand? Okay, so we teach women to break everything. Cable ties, duct tape, rope, you can get out of anything. But now she needs it on demand. So just by using these techniques and centering her body, she will activate adrenaline. She's 4 times stronger and she can break.
And then we
Okay,
must be
so-
scared. I've always thought that you were probably closer to becoming a superhero than anyone else in the studio. I
Now I have
absolutely
the
love
key.
that. Exactly. Now, how did that feel?
Yeah, that felt great. And the difference, you
could feel it.
You could definitely feel the difference.
In
guys
all of
can-
like 5 seconds. of
Afterwards, she
preparation.
can show you how, and you can arm wrestle and see the difference.
Oh, I'm coming for you. I'm not going to arm wrestle you. I'm going to definitely not make that mistake. I absolutely love it, Doc. Thank you so much. You are amazing at what you do. If you'd like to learn a little bit more, send some questions through. Our social media team will make the connections, but there are clearly messages being sent out and received that we didn't even know about, but it's all locked in there. And I think we often call it intuition, but there's a way that you can learn to master those skills.